And look, there's a Volt, which is icking in a parking space. Ick. And here's all the real EVs, the RAB EVs.
So not only was General Motors not prepared to charge their Volt hoaxes, except illegally on parking spaces belonging to the city of Santa Monica, but they only had a pathetic amount of personnel there. It's like a skeleton crew, because obviously General Motors doesn't have much faith in the Volt hoax or in electric cars in general.
So here's the Chevrolet, folks.
That's what I'm saying.
Now let's look at the beginning of the huge Nissan exhibit, you know, which dwarfs anything that GM could possibly imagine.
So you can see how extensive this Nissan Leaf exhibit here is, and how seriously Nissan appears to take the electric car revival. They have a whole bunch of Leafs here, and they're just wonderful little cars. And they have this gigantic driving ground here, and they're giving, I guess there's people lined up 3 deep to try to take test drives. And they go through this exhibit where we're told about all the things that have to do with electric cars, how to charge them, where the batteries are, different options and electronics. And then people get a chance, you know, of course, now that it's jammed, to drive the car. And you can start out, I guess, on this little track here, and then you drive it out on the street and get to drive around. Are you the Nissan Leaf person?
I'm one of them. What can I do for you?
Oh, nothing. I was just.
The very first person to drive.
My drive is at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And I came in an electric car. I just wanted to drive it in here, but they won't let me.
No.
But you're gonna let me take the car out on the street?
You betcha.
All right.
You betcha. So at 9 o'clock, you'll check in at the registration area up in the front.
Yeah. My Leaf is scheduled for December.
Awesome.
But they say it may not be coming until March or so, because they're behind.
I believe that if you've signed up for one in December, you'll still get it in December. But quite frankly,
cool.
you should work through your dealer on that.
Yeah,
because they're staggering the orders based on the dealers, so you have to work with your dealer.
Oh yeah, that's a problem.
They can give you the definite answer on that.
Our first electric vehicle is over here on this wall, actually the HondaEV from 1947, which was a lead acid electric vehicle. And if you look around some of these signs in the room, you can see that we've actually been making electric vehicles ever since. We've never stopped. We've come a long way, of course, from that first lead acid battery to the technology that you see here. So this is what the Nissan Leaf battery looks like. It's our laminated lithium ion pack. It's a 24 kilowatt hour pack, which will get you about 100 miles of driving range. Now this pack is going to have an 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty. That's something a lot of people have been wondering. And the great thing about the pack is that it weighs about 600 pounds, and it's actually in the vehicle beneath your seats in the center of the floor. So it makes for great handling and a nice low center of gravity. Now charging the pack takes about 8 hours on a standard charger. You simply plug it in overnight, kind of like you would a cell phone, and when you wake up in the morning you have a full charge. And there's no harm in partial charging these batteries. They don't have a memory. So what that means is that if you're at a shopping mall and there happens to be a charging station there and you want to go ahead and plug in for an hour or two while you shop, you can do that, and there's no problem at all. You just unplug and drive after an hour or 2 hours, however long you have to charge. Now I want to show you some samples of what the charging station looks like as well. Back here on this wall, you can see 2 of our chargers. Now this is what a home charger would look like. Car seats across the back. It has ample cargo space. You can fit 2 sets of golf clubs easily into the back. You can feel free to open that, absolutely. The rear seats also close
dead body. Oh no.
40-60 split. And one thing that's really awesome about this car is that the interior is made of recycled plastic materials as well as parts of the bumper. So it's very green from the inside out. We also use LED headlights and taillights, all LED lights. So as you know, those are more energy efficient. This car has been quite fantastic. We also have
the brakes. The electric motor acts as an electric generator. This not only slows the Nissan Leaf, but it converts some of the braking energy into battery energy. So even when you're slowing down, you're charging up.
all right, so
researching and designing our own batteries for the last about 20. So we started out with the lead acid like most folks. We have now stepped up to the laminated lithium ion battery. It's about 600 pounds total. It sits under. This is the standard now for all electric vehicles, SAE approved. So the electric vehicles that are out on the road or coming out on the market, this is what they're going to use if they're going to use the public. This little 100-mile tool is available through your bracelet, and when you get home you can play with it. We'll kind of take one example. So let's basically say, I live here in California, 90292. This is going to show you your range real time. So my home is in Marina Del Rey. So in a given day, let's say I go to work, and I work in, let's say I work up in Century City. I got 84 miles remaining. And of course I hit the gym later. That's in Culver City. And let's say I go out to a movie. And that's up in Santa Monica. So right there, I've got 73 miles remaining. This is a way real easy for you and everybody else to see just how capable and how awesome the Nissan Leaf is. 100 miles covers you most days, right? You got 73 more miles. You can go to the grocery, you can hang out with friends. This is how much more miles. And if you ever get close to running out, of course your car's going to tell that there'll be any number of bells and whistles. You can simply recharge along the way, and your nav system is going to tell you where those charging stations are, always up to date.